All right, we're live. It's not the moon. It's the mun. Get it right, y'all. All right. Before we get started, well, we'll give some people some time to stream in, if you will. Oh, maybe I put this... I put myself over here, and then I put like this over here, just to not obstruct the game. Is that the play? I think that's the play. All right, just before we get started, I do want to acknowledge that we are on No, I don't. That's not what I mean. Bacon and Bush sent 10 Dr. Blitz gift memberships, which means that 10 people now have access to the debate notes and to the YouTube emojis that didn't have it before. So let's get a big old W for Bacon and Bush as people are streaming in. And should we get started? I think we should get started. All right. So if you don't remember, last time we were here, we were trying to rescue Valentina. So Valentina was making just as a catch up. Jeb died in a tragic plane crash where, despite his incredible piloting skills, he forgot to put the landing gears down when he was landing on the runway. And as a result, Valentina was sent to the moon to plant a flag in Jeb's honor. Now, here's the trouble. Valentina, being a skilled pilot, noticed that on her way back from the mun, she could actually do a flyby of Kerbal and then another flyby of the mun for some swag points, for some, for the respect it would garner back home. She decided to do that. Little did she know, she wasn't going to be able to make it home with the amount of fuel that she had if she did the flyby. So, Valentina is currently stuck in an extremely distant Kerbal orbit. Every 25 days, she swings by within 355 kilometers of the surface of Kerbal at around 2,500 meters per second. Now, we have just, as of Saturday, we have just launched a rescue mission trying to rescue Valentina. We missed, or at least it looks like we've missed. But the goal today, first things first, is we are going to try to rescue Valentina and catch up to her rather than missing. So, this is very much time sensitive. I don't know if you know, the game is played in real time. So what is happening right now, if we go to this tracking station, what is happening right now is that Valentina is here and she's leaving. On the other hand, we have Jeb's goo, we have the Valentina got screwed and we're saving her, which is also currently launching to space, and we need to catch her. So let's go fly it and see if we can catch her. All right, so we have the rocket, and our current trajectory is taking us here. Now we need to get rid of this maneuver node. I would like to delete you, please. Actually, we should probably just get into... Yeah, we can just do that. What we're going to do... Yeah, we're just going to do this orbit, or do this maneuver. So let us warp forward. The maneuver is in 30 seconds or so we need to start burning soon. And then we're going to try to catch Valentina. Might take a few orbits, but we will get her. We will get her. All right, burn time starts in 25 seconds. And we're almost oriented to the appropriate maneuver node. All right, we have some time. All right, 15 seconds. 5 seconds. T minus 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. All right, we have to burn quite a bit of fuel to actually enter this extremely long orbit. Hopefully we have enough fuel to catch her and then come home. Otherwise, they will both be stuck in orbit. And Doffrey would be lost. Rest in peace, Doffrey. Yeah, I will still be taking physics questions. I will only be taking physics questions and, you know, just questions in general through the super chats on YouTube. Because I can only do so much. I mean, I will occasionally do this, answer other questions as well while we're waiting for things to burn, but otherwise I'm going to be, you know, doing kind of both of these things at the same time. Now, we did just get a super chat from Mike Angel with the $2. My mom also needs 5 minutes of orientation. Well, fair enough. All right, so we got our burn. Now, we have another burn coming up. So what we did is we circularized, right? We have another burn coming up that will hopefully knock us into an orbit that will intersect with Valentina at some point in the future. So what we need to do now is we need to find an orbit that'll hit her. So let's start fiddling with things and hope to catch her. Maybe if we add an... So we will need to adjust our orbit here so that they're in line with each other. And if we're lucky, if we're extra lucky, what we can do is we can hit her right as... Okay, so descending node. Ah, see, that's actually fairly... Oh, no, that's not close at all. Gotta align the orbits. Fairly close. Nope, too much. Okay, so actually I have a better plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the place of intersection here. Going to find where they, or rather where they would intersect, where they would be closest. Right about there. Add a maneuver node there. And then we need to go and we need to find something on the opposite of this maneuver node. So like right about there, maybe? Oh, that's really soon, actually. Might be too soon, actually. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to extend our orbit just a smidge here. There we go. That they actually do cross. And that will be a very, very short burn. Something like right there. Good morning, everybody. I hope that you're happy to join us as we try to rescue Valentina, who was trying to do a memorial for Jebediah. Valentina is currently here, and she is flying away. She's flying very far away. You know, we have... Well, we gotta rescue her. And we built in fact, actually, if you don't know, you're not orbiting in the right direction. Yeah, I am. Valentina's going in the other direction. Absolutely orbiting the right direction. All right, now we gotta... Oops. Okay, a little bit too much, but that's fine. Turn off that. Just direct prograde. Okay, so now that we have an intersect, now what we can do is we can go here, add a node, and then we can see if we can get them to align. Oh, actually, what we want is we want to go here at the descending node right there. That's what we want. And then we can tilt a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Perfect little tilt. And in addition, what we're going to do is we're going to kick up our prograde burn. God, all that text. Here's the thing, we only have so much fuel, right? So what we're going to... Oh, and we also need to burn... Oh, we need to change our... What is it? The argument of whatever. Which is annoying. We have to burn this way. And then we can kick up our... See those two red, or those two purple things? Those are the things that we need... Oh, this is going to take a lot of fuel. So I'm not playing mono, we're playing vanilla. So So in fact, what we're going to try to do instead is we're going to play it a little bit safe, which is, I know it's boring, but we are going to just try to match orbits and conserve fuel, because we really don't want Joffrey to also be stuck in space. So we're going to spend some time taking it slow, matching orbits. Okay, so there's the inclination burn. And then what we need to do is then we need to add a burn here, which should, we have to match the argument of whatever. I don't know, it's the argument of something or other. There's a fancy name for it. Actually, let's just do the tilt burn first, and then we can see where we are. All right. So we're gonna warp on, slash. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're first gonna orient towards the, do I have, okay, I do have, yeah, we're fine there. I would like physics time warp, please. So we're just taking our time. We're gonna do this properly, right? We are still on a recovery mission. We didn't finish the recovery mission. Argument of periapsis. There you go. That's what it's called. See, there's a name for these things. Okay, so move super chat. Oh yeah, sorry. Good call. All right. So we're almost at the orientation that we need to be to burn. The guy who made this game must be curious, or must be smart. Well, I think it was a team. While we're waiting, hey Blitz, I'm curious. I heard you say that you were a nominalist, and I know from hearing him talk that Ian is more of a Platonist. You guys ever talked about or debated your beliefs? Ian is whatever is required for the conversation. Well, that's not quite true. Ian is recently becoming more interested in nominalism. We got to do our vertical burn here, just to adjust the inclination of our orbit. But we haven't done like any sort of formal debate or anything. And we just got to finish up that burn. Just about right. Okay, great. Okay, so that burn's good. Now we should be roughly aligned. Oh, are we too much? Did we align? We're a little bit too much. Okay, it'll be close, but it should be doable. Okay, now what we need to do is now we need to actually go here, and we can just add a maneuver node. And as long as I place this in the right place, we can probably get these two orbits to intersect. Oh, that's actually fairly close. Add a little bit more juice. If I just drag this around, we can probably find a place where they're going to intersect. Eventually, anyway. Add a little bit more juice. That's pretty close. Not going to Minmus. We're doing a rescue mission right now. See Valentina? She's right there. We're trying to rescue her. Okay, actually, second thought. Instead what we're gonna do is we're just gonna match orbits. It'll make the catch easier. And then we gotta drag this just a smidge. And we're not gonna match orbits perfectly. What we want to do is we want to actually see that? If we burn just right, it's going to be cutting it. But we can always add a correction burn. So what we're going to do is at some point Valentina's here. She is currently zooming away. So what we need to do is we're just going to really have to tap it and hope that we can catch her. All right, so let's orient ourselves appropriately. Do you play other games? Well, I haven't really yet. It's been almost six months since I played. It's been like 8 years since I played. Can we ask this supposed physicist, aka NASA space flyer, anything, or doesn't it have to be fake space related? You can ask me anything. This is CGI. This is not real footage from space. Space is not real. True. It is very true. What happened to my tumor? It turns out it wasn't a tumor. She is going very fast. She is also not in a rocket, and she doesn't have any jetpack fuel anymore. So, yeah, I can raise the ellipse at the far end. Yep, that's true. She is going, yeah, she is, this is a really hard rescue. But we're gonna do it. All right, so this is a 27-second burn. So we should start the burn with like 13 or maybe 15 seconds early. And then let's start at like 20 seconds early, and then we're gonna feather it until we get the intersect that we need. All right, almost there. Okay. Now let's do the burn. Now, what we really have to pay attention to is we have to pay attention to when that orange, I don't know if you can see this, when this orange line gets closer. It will start to get closer soon. It'll start to get closer to this little orange thing here. Gotta start feathering it. Oh, too far. Okay, we gotta reverse. Too much. We burned too much. Gotta slow it down. Because now we're on an escape trajectory. Not trying to get to Minmus, we're trying to rescue Valentina. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Now, if you see this, okay, so there's still, we're gonna have to adjust way up in apoapsis, and we might even need a, we might even need another burn somewhere else, because we are not on the same inclination, which is not good. Right? See how the orbits are tilted? So in fact, let's see if I just add a quick burn. So we're here. If I add a quick burn, say here, it won't tilt me perfect, but it might get us close. If I add just a little baby tilt going up, that might get us fairly close in inclination. Oh, that actually gets us really close to an intersect too. That's really good. Okay, so let's fiddle around with that node, and maybe we can actually hit the intersect that we need. Nope. Come on, come back. Come back. Okay. See? See that? Now that is something that can be course corrected, because that's a separation of, oh, that's a separation of 2,000 kilometers. That's kind of far, actually. That's actually pretty far. Can we do a little bit better? That's too far. Let's see if we can do a little better. Less, a little bit less. Oh. Okay, so that's a separation of 1,500 kilometers, which is pretty good. That's still 1,500. No. Still 1,500, but our orbits are getting closer to matching. 1,400 kilometers. That is an intersection of What do we have there? 725 kilometers, which is pretty good. Pretty good. And then we can always do an adjustment up there to try to match better down here. So that's what we're going to do. That is the plan. We are headed to rescue Valentina, who's currently there and is currently flying away from us at over 1 kilometer per second. From DS King of Kings, I used to play this game when I was in middle and high school. Yes, I'm a youngin', I know, but I love this game. I only managed a moon landing. Well, I am an expert. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'm definitely a veteran of this game. So the current plan is we are playing without any mods. We are kind of flying by the seat of our pants and doing fun things rather than doing things optimally that take a long time. So we are currently operating on a rescue mission for Valentina, who has no jetpack fuel and is not in a rocket. She is floating in space alone. That is the current status. All right, so we have a burn coming up in 5 minutes. Just 1 sec. We're gonna space warp a little bit to it now that we're in the right orientation. Valentina does need help. Yeah, that's the trouble. I know I have 2 other axes. I'm very aware. All right, let's warp forward a little bit. Skip some time. It's a very, very short burn. It's like 1 second. All right, we're closing in on a burn. And fire. Feathering it just to get it exactly right. Okay, should be good enough. Nice. Okay, so we should be on a near intersect with Valentina. It'll put us in at 725 kilometers away, which sounds really, really far. So we won't be able to touch her then, but we will be able to perhaps do a course correction mid-flight to match the orbit, and then so you typically want to do a course correction right around here. So let's see if we can get that. Oops. From Pat in the chat, anybody here play Space Penguin before? I haven't. Oops. Okay, let's see if we can add a maneuver node. And then let's see if we can just touch on Valentina's orbit. Come on. What happens if you crash into the planet? You die. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We are not going to I don't think that we're actually gonna do the correction burn here. The rockets are too powerful for a correction burn. So instead what we're going to do is we are going to I think that we may even jettison this lower. Yeah, we should have plenty of fuel for the catch. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to jettison this lower what's it called? The lower stage. How many days has Valentina been stuck out there? About a month. All right. This is risky, jettisoning the lower stage, because we're losing fuel, but we're gaining precision. So off we go. From Space Barbarian with the $5. KSB is great. I work on spacecraft and understand orbits pretty well. When I played KSB, I felt my brain grow a physical intuition for them. Yeah, that's where I learned my orbital mechanics. She's not gone. All right. Now, what we're going to do, now that we have a little bit more precision, you know, the rest of that rocket, well, don't worry about it. Yeah, she would have lost a little bit of weight. That's true. Okay. Now, here's what we got to do. We gotta get up there and then see how these two things are very, very close to each other. What we're going to do is by the time we get up there, we'll be moving very, very slowly. And once we're moving very, very slowly, very, very small changes. No, we're on our way to get Valentina. Very, very small changes in our orbit will affect dramatically what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to actually warp up to... you can Refine the maneuver node by fine-tune tool. Click the arrow key on the bottom left panel where it says maneuver or orbit just above the apo and parry. Ah, good to know. Unfortunately, it wasn't an issue of having not fine enough maneuver nodes. The issue was merely that my rockets were too my rockets were too strong in some sense. Click the arrow key on the bottom left panel where it says maneuver or orbit. Yeah. Yeah. Maneuver. Maneuver. There are no maneuvers currently, though. See, we're trying to chase her. We'll get there, but it's one of those things where, in principle, like, we could just, like, punch it and try to catch her, but it's probably not the smartest thing to do as far as the, oh, I should turn on that. Oh, I'm gonna turn on this rocket. I don't know why the staging didn't just work. I just pressed space and the staging didn't work. Why isn't the rocket on? Why isn't the rocket turning on? Why can't I turn the rocket on? Why isn't the rocket turning on? Why can't I turn the rocket on? Why can't I change the thrust? Oh, it's because I'm in space warp. Okay, I'm dumb. That's why. Scared myself for a second there. No, so I can turn the rocket on, but it's not staged yet, so now it's staged. No, we're good on fuel. I was in space. I was in time warp. That's why. Oh boy. I don't know why. I don't know what just happened, but for some reason we are now on an escape trajectory. So I have to slow down ever so slightly. Probably from the what just happened? Oh, are we on a? Oh boy, our orbits no longer match. Set target. Unset target. Okay, what orbit am I currently on? Oh, okay. So what it's telling me is that I'm actually going to make a chance Mun encounter, and it's going to fling me out of orbit. But that's not really a big deal. We're not too concerned about that. So yeah, what we're going to do is we are going to warp to periapsis, or to apoapsis rather. Oh, I just burned. That's my mistake. Did not mean to burn. Yeah, accidental gravity turn is how we got into this problem in the first place. So let's fix that burn. Let's do a quick burn. Maybe we can even okay. Now what we are going to do is we're going to warp. Somebody, DS Kings says, I never figured it out, and someone else in chat asks as well, how do you approximate Intuit calculate what direction I'll go in after a gravity assist? Oh, gravity assists are tricky, but generally if you're going in the direction of orbit, you're going to gain, or if you're swinging around from the way the orbit is going, and then you swing around going back in the same direction as the orbit, you gain speed. And if you're going the other direction, you'll lose speed. But gravity assists can be really unintuitive. Basically, if you're getting flung in the direction of orbit, then you're going to get some speed. All right, so here we are. We're actually fairly close to her at this point. I mean, we definitely can't see her, but we're fairly close. All right, let's hide this. We'll get her. How do you know her name is Valentina? Because it says right there, her name is Valentina. Actually, you know what we could do? Let's think about this. The only reason we're not going to orbit, we're not going to intersect, is because Valentina is currently just on a ever so slightly different orbit. But like, I could, in principle, like, maybe catch her right out here. Because it doesn't take a lot to change orbits at this point. So I just got to align better. I could maybe even catch her right at the apoapsis before she starts speeding up. Oops, too much. I would like to intersect her orbit, please. Okay, so that's where they align. Okay, so now I have to modify this ever so slightly. Scale, there we go. So we want to fiddle with this until those two lines intersect. So we want to play with the radial. Nope, we don't want to play with the radial. Where do we actually want them to... Oh, actually, we don't even need to cause them to intersect there. We can cause them to intersect here. So what we do want is we want to shoot left. So that means that we want to shoot inward. Okay, and then what we can... And that gets us down to a separation of only 245 kilometers. We need to still angle up just a smidge. 216 kilometers. We're gonna try to match right there. So we need to change our radial ever so slightly. It's moments like these where I wish I remember how to pilot with RCS, but I just don't remember. 152 kilometer separation, 103 kilometer separation. I haven't played it in a very long time. 48 kilometer separation. That's getting really good. We're very nearly there. Probably just a smidge more in this. Oops. Uh, 56 kilometer separation. We'll get there. IJKL, yeah. But that requires a certain degree of orientation and practice I don't have. 20 kilometer separation. 17 kilometer separation. 16 kilometer separation. 13 kilometer separation. 8 kilometer separation. Yep, we're gonna catch her, guys. 2.4 kilometer separation. 2.7. Okay, so that was the wrong move. 5. Okay, so we gotta adjust a little bit here. 1.6 kilometer separation. 4.3. Okay, so 1.6 kilometer separation, we can do that. If you right click the separation, it'll stay highlighted. Oh, okay. Well, we did it anyway. So what we're going to do is we have a 2.7 meters per second burn, which is a tiny burn. And it's gonna take like no time at all. So what we're gonna do is we are going to warp ahead and we'll do what we can. Okay, the burn is in 1 second. We are currently oriented in the right direction. No, I know. My throttle will be very limited. Don't worry. All right, 30 seconds. Well, a little bit less than 30 seconds. We'll warp forward a little bit so then we don't waste time. This is very... It's times like these when I had like the auto... Okay. The burn is done. And how do we do? 14 kilometer separation. Okay, that's pretty good. We didn't do perfect. We didn't do perfect, right? I know I could do it with RCS, but I don't remember how to pilot well with RCS. And I don't want to... Now's not the time to learn, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to... Once we're about here, we're going to make some course corrections. And we should be able, hopefully be able to catch her. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Okay, we're gonna let's time warp. Someone in chat says you can limit engine thrust. I'm very aware. I know. That's how I did such a small burn. What I do to Valentina? She got lost in space. That's what I did. But we're gonna catch her. Don't worry. See, we're catching her. We're getting there. How long are the ladders? Hopefully long enough. Okay, now let's think about doing a burn here. Because currently we're 100. Yeah, okay. So if we do a small, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get to the target. We're going to get to the intersection, and then we're going to do a burn there, and we're going to try to match orbits basically. And then once we're essentially matching orbits, then it should be fairly straightforward to catch her. So we want a little bit of a inward burn. Nope, too much. Does that match her orbit? Close enough, right? That's close enough. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Actually, maybe we can... Okay, I think that we're going to try piloting with RCS. That's what we're going to do. We have a day to figure this out. We can learn. Oh, you know what we can do? We could just launch another ship and practice there. We have plenty of time. Should we launch a ship just to practice piloting with RCS? Is that the right move? Because we're gonna have to maneuver with RCS anyway. Yeah, I think that that's the play here, actually. The thing is getting the actual, like, so, okay, hold on. Let me just Google this. I just haven't done it in a long time. Maneuvering with RCS. Okay. Kerbal Space Program. I've got to remember that. Okay, so it's the IJKLHN, which is the linear so I'm going to try just something real fast, and hopefully this doesn't throw off the orbit. Just to make sure. So we have HN. H and N are forward and... Okay. Okay, that I can do. And then IJKLHN, so then we have... Okay, that I can do. Yeah, I can probably just catch her now. At this point, we're close enough. Press docking mode to switch into WASD. Why would I need to press docking mode? I shouldn't need to. Oh, actually, yeah, if I do switch to docking mode, no, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point, but she has to be within range, right? She has to be within 2 kilometers or so. She's not nearly close enough to be in docking mode yet. It's below staging. Approach info. Docking mode. There we go. Helpful. All right, now we have Valentina as our target. Control mode, linear rotations. Okay. That's from James Lupian, by the way. All right, we are on approach. Now let's see. Surely we can't see her yet. But we can point. So she's in that direction. Now, in principle, if I press, I am currently in linear control. If I press that, that should push me. Nope, that's not pushing me forward. That pushes me forward. Okay, now this I can do. Yep. It's not my first time docking, but it is my first time docking in about 8 years. Now, we should, what were our action sets? Didn't we set some? Yeah, we did. Okay, it's time to put out our net. So this is the net. Here's how we're going to catch, set the thing that shows your speed to target. Yeah, I should. There we go. She's been out here for a very long time. And in fact, the closest approach is still not yet for another, over a day. The net is kind of tiny. That's why we have to be careful. The net is to catch her because she doesn't have RCS. That's the current problem. No, don't use RCS. That's going to screw up the... Okay. So now... Yeah, I can switch to her, but we're not that close yet. So we need to be pointing... If we are pointing towards her... If I just go like... There we go. There we go, bringing that in. Fortunately, I did bring along a lot of monoprop. Trying to get that separation distance down. All right. Separation distance is less than 1 kilometer. We're gonna have to kill off our speed, but... All right. Separation distance is now 100 meters. Now I'm gonna turn this off and I'm gonna have to match her speed. So we're currently flying towards her. So I'll need to go in the opposite direction. But for now, we have an hour and a half. From Sir Stroming with the 27 Swedish kroner, you do peer reviews? We're master students though. Not really, not unless it's asked of me by journal. All right. We'll get there. We'll get there, y'all. All right, we're coming in on the approach. Okay. This is, I think, where we start to... There she is. All right. Now, we're gonna get closer to her as time comes by. We'll get her, I hope. Let's just double check. Yeah, separation is still 12 minutes away. Okay. This is very nerve-wracking. All right, let's check on Valentina, shall we? Here she is, alive, I hope. She has very little RCS. So the current plan, yeah, she's alive. Look, she's smiling. Kind of. The current plan is to get her close enough to the net, match velocities, and then have her just grab the ladder. That is the current plan. Because she can't use RCS right now. All right, we're coming. We're currently playing with no mods. We're gonna have to kill the speed soon. All right, I'm gonna kill the speed relative to the target. How do I see it marked in game? I have her targeted. All right, so that's probably basically closest approach. I don't know why I'm not able to match her, but we gotta go. No, don't go away. Don't go away, Valentina. Why is she leaving? Gotta get closer. We gotta match that orbit. Oh, it's because our orbits aren't matching. Ah, shoot. We didn't get close enough. Is my RCS not strong enough? Should be. Gotta keep burning towards her. Pointing at target is not retrograde. I know it's not retrograde. I'm pointing at target, which is her. We just gotta get closer. I gotta match her speed, right? I want retrograde? Why do I want retrograde? I gotta get closer to her. Trying to make the relative velocity 0 here. Here's the trouble. Oh, is it retrograde? It's retrograde to her. I'm so dumb. It's retrograde to her. That's what I want. Yeah, because it's not retrograde to the... Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're getting over there. Yep. Because I have her targeted. Okay, speed is killed. We're good. We figured this out. Thank you for all of the people being smart. It's retrograde relative to her, right? I thought it was retrograde relative to my orbit. That was the issue. Okay, now we can actually just go to target. Yep, now it's all coming back, y'all. It's all coming back. All right, let's just do a slow 1 meter per second drift. I'll answer super chats in a sec. This is very careful work. We still have plenty of monoprop. Okay. Now, she's 20 meters away. This is what she sees coming towards her. So we basically just gotta let it drift, and then we're going to... Oh, you know what? We need to slow down just a smidge. Okay. Now, hopefully, we can just grab one of these ladders. How do I grab the ladder? All right. All right, y'all. Here's the issue. How am I grabbing the ladder? I know I can activate her jetpack. Here's the issue. Oh, is there a button just to grab the ladder? Oh, we did it. We did it. We got her. I didn't know that there was a button to grab the ladder. Now, okay, she did grab the wrong ladder. The trouble is she needs to get in. If I open doors, does Joffrey die? I don't know. Beat aboard. She's not... B is not boarding. Okay, so we did catch her. This is good. They won't die if you open the hatch. Okay, what does happen if I do open the hatch? Okay, let's just open the hatch. Oh. It's the wrong hatch. Okay. I don't know why I can't board. I know that there's a button. There we go. Nope, I don't want to retract that ladder. I would like to get on that ladder, please. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Is she safe? No, she is not. Is she stuck? Yes. Yes, she is. Is she stuck inside the canister? She is. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I would like her to climb on the ladder, but it is very buggy. There is a, Houston, we have a problem. She doesn't have RCS. Look how much fuel she has. She has 0.5 RCA propellant. I know she will not climb. I am currently trying to climb with her, and she will not. Holding W is doing nothing. I am currently holding W. I am holding W. I know. I am currently, don't worry. Okay, yeah, so I think that the current plan is to have her let go, and we can always do another rendezvous if we need to. We're gonna have her let go, and then we're gonna try to rotate the ship a little bit so that she can just board. Oop. We don't want to bunker. Okay, so at least she's safe on the ladder. Come on. Oh, wait. Okay, so now, why can't she board? Why? It won't let her, okay, so hold on. We have some super chats to read. Is it true that you became an atheist when you first heard the music of Chapel Roan? No, that is not true. From DS King of Kings, swap jetpack with Kerbal inside cockpit. No. From Mr. James Lupian with the $2, give the RCS from your pilot to her. I am very bad at piloting RCS. I am a generally good pilot in this game more generally, but why is the W key is just not doing? Like, it won't let me go forward. That is a problem. I can't go, it won't let me, the W key is just not doing anything. The S key is bringing me further down. I don't know why it's not letting me, ooh, that's a problem. That is a problem, a very big problem. Shift isn't doing it either. No. She is, I mean, like, I can try using RCS, but it's gonna... Okay, so we got closer with RCS, but it won't let me board. Please let me board. Let me in! Yeah, I could try retracting the ladders. Oh. Yeah, it's not letting me in. Yeah, I understand. I know the button to board, but it's not letting me in. There we go. Grab then board. We're in. We did it. We did it, boys and girls and everybody. It was a slog, but we did it. It was the ladder. It was the ladders giving us an issue because the ladders wanted to. It was trying to make me grab the ladders rather than grabbing the hatch. Okay. Now we just got to get home. Now, fortunately, I did attach a heat shield here. So all we have to do is we just have to get a re-entry. And we should be fine. So, now that we are not doing that anymore, let's go to, we need to turn off that mode. Okay, now we can just burn retrograde. We can just lower that periapsis. We'll just skim on by. That was the beginning of the mission. The second half of the mission is second half of the mission is landing and doing it safely. Okay, 30,000 meters per second should be fine. And let's point retrograde. And then that's time warp. Let's go home. Please split this between Joffrey and Valentina. They've earned it. Indeed, they have earned it. I'll make sure to do that. Okay, so we're Jeb's goo is going to permanently be. Whoop, almost missed it there. Have I played KSP with Principia? I actually really liked it a lot. It was just really slow, unfortunately. I know retrograde changes. Retrograde changes based on what you have selected on the little screen on the nav ball in the middle there. You should click on it now that you have Val. Yes, so I already did. I'm already in the orbit nav ball, but that's a good point of advice. How old am I? I'm 32. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. Since we're going really fast, like obscenely fast. Actually, you know what? Okay, so this is how we got into this problem in the first place, but in principle, we could just fall to the Kerbal Space Center right now. We're directly over it. We have plenty of fuel. Do you guys want to just fall to the Space Center? The planet's not going to spin that much, and we'll have a little bit of horizontal motion, but there we can. Let's go for a landing that's as close to the Kerbal Space Program as we can, or as the Kerbal Space Center. Okay, that's, well, it's not quite right. I do have enough fuel, yeah, and we have a heat shield, so like. All right, let's just fall. It's not going to be exact, but it'll be pretty close. Now, what the pros won't tell you, hold on, we gotta reorient. What the pros won't tell you is that you can just use your rocket as a heat shield, it turns out. So the Kerbals, yeah, we're gonna land in the ocean, but that's fine. We can recover her. She will be safe and sound. Or they will be safe. Oh, let's slow down a little bit. We are coming in real fast. We have plenty of RCS. We'll be able to, we will be able to control our attitude. No, we're not playing career mode. I just don't want to, you know, come in at hundreds of thousands. Well, yeah, I know that there's more stations to land at. I know. The parachute staging has been checked. Don't worry. I'm not trying to do a landing. I don't have enough fuel for that. I just want to make this. I just want to make the landing as safe as we can. Still pretty fast. Save the last bit of fuel for right before we hit the atmosphere. All right, we are officially in the atmosphere. Let's burn a little bit. And now, We hopefully don't explode. It's fine if the engine explodes. Oh, damn. I had to pop the rocket because the rest of the ship was going to explode, but we're good. We're good. Whew. It's close. Yeah, it was a steep re-entry. I know I could have slowed down. I could have done like a slick entry where like I skim by the atmosphere to slow down and do like aero braking and stuff. I know that. I chose not to. The goal of the flight was to rescue Valentina, which we did. We did rescue Valentina. The game is called Kerbal Space Program. It's a very good game. And touchdown is, yeah. I opted for the tactical missile entry. That's exactly it. So from Duty and Courage with the $5, Money for KSP, my favorite game. Yeah, it's a good game. Like, it's just a straight up good game. And from Luca with the $3 Australian, what made you want to become a physicist? So it was the fact, so when I was a kid, I was like 8 or 9. Sorry, 1 second, let me do something. I saw a picture, like a rendered picture or a rendered, image of a black hole. When I was a kid, like I was 8 or 9. This was right as Google Images were coming out. I saw this and I'm like, that's the coolest thing. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And so I did. All right, we can speed this up a little bit. We can touch down a little bit faster. I'm not currently playing with any mods. I'm playing vanilla. I used to play with like when I played this game on my own, I played with a lot of mods just to improve quality of life, but I'm trying the whole vanilla thing and we'll see how it goes. And touchdown. We did it. Valentina has been saved and Doffrey survived. How good is KSP's physics to actual physics? It's actually pretty good. The only thing it doesn't do is it can't do more than 2 body simulations. Whew. All right, we did it. We did it, ladies and gents. They've been recovered. Now, the next planned mission was, well, so first off, we need to abandon Jeb's Goo. Jeb's Goo is a rocket that is currently in space orbit. We are going to terminate it. It has no crew in it, so it's fine. It's not Jeb. Jeb is already dead. At least he's dead to me. It is Jeb's Goo. So what we're going to do is the next plan is, well, it's not Jeb's Goo anymore. Yeah. The next plan is we're going to build a space plane and we're going to land on Minmus. That is the current plan of attack. So we are going to employ, Valentina's been through a lot, but all right, we need I didn't unalive Jeb. Jeb's already dead. Jeb died a long time ago. He died on the third flight. He successfully made it to orbit on our very first flight. Or on our third flight, rather. The first 2 flights we aborted and he survived. And then he made it to, then he was piloting a space plane that had an issue, so he turned around for a re-landing and we forgot to put down the landing gear. So Jeb exploded. We need a name for Valentina's space plane. That's gonna take us all the way. The space plane is gonna take us all the way to Minmus. Rundown of KSP, explain your thought. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Are we calling it the Valencia? I kind of like the Valencia. Or Adrian. What do we want? Yeah, no, he died. Jeb's dead, but he died like on Saturday. Yeah, it's called the Valencia 1. And we have to put the number because if we're being honest with ourselves, there's going to be a lot of explosions that happen. All right, so first things first is we need to, we need to build a space plane. So first step in, oh, actually we have a space plane. It's called the John Every space plane, and this is the one that killed Jeb. It's actually a fairly good space plane. I just forgot to put down the gears. From Luca with the 3 Australian dollar dues. What problems in physics excite you the most? Currently, the things in physics that excite me the most are questions about, like, the way the future of the universe could be, and the way that the origins of our universe could be. And maybe there's a link there. Those are the questions that are interesting to me. All right. So let's just double check, fly this plane, make sure that it goes well. This is going to be the John Every Spaceplane 4. We're going to, how much fuel do we have? And what are our action groups? So we have toggle engine, switch mode. Okay, fine. We definitely don't have enough fuel for a Minmus landing, I don't think. So we should probably... Yeah, we need more fuel. We need to make this better. Okay, what are we doing? So we can always just stick another fuel tank in front. Fuel tanks. Stick another one of these. Make it just a longer boy. We're not going to need any oxidizer. Actually, we can put the oxidizer here and we can empty out that one. That might be enough, but now our wings are a little bit too far back. So let's move those forward. Like there. What's our TWR? 1.2. So, I mean, like, even in... even in air breathing mode, we could, in principle, just point straight up. Is KSP worth it? I've only played SPS. I like KSP. I think it's a really well done game. Let's just test and make sure that when we do empty out fuel that we're not unstable. Okay, that should be fine then. Now the question is will we have enough fuel to... Yeah, let's just try it. Let's just try it. We'll get to orbit and then we'll see if we can make it to Minmus. Otherwise, we'll come down. We're gonna move those wings forward just a smidge more. And I just want to double check again, make sure that the fuel is good, that it doesn't destabilize us. Okay, then that should be fine. Great. What is the worst that could happen? Okay, now our pilot is going to be Jebediah, you're dead to me. Our pilot is Valentina. You actually know stuff about rockets or just physics? Yeah, I don't really know much about rockets, but I've played this game a lot, so I know enough about rockets. All right, what's the worst that could happen? Possible to take GR with only diff geo under my belt? I mean, you should probably have some, like, I mean, if you have diff geo, then you have all the math classes. You should probably have, like, classical mechanics, but otherwise, yeah. Okay. Turn on SAS. Do I have... Oh, I really don't have any monoprop for reorienting. Do I have... Nope, I have to go back to the spaceplane hangar. If we're gonna land on Minmus, then we need a few other things. We need some monoprop. And we need some well, we need more monoprop, I should say. Because where's my monoprop? Where does it say my monoprop? Because basically we have to be able to turn around in space, and we don't have any, we don't have a strong SAS system, so we're gonna need some monoprop. Nope, not big enough. Too big. Just right. Should be good. I could add a reaction wheels. I could add some reaction wheels. Isn't there a reaction wheel that is... shaped like the plane. Isn't that a thing? Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's not great. How strong is the reaction wheel? It has 15. The torque is 15 units, which is, and the yaw is 3. Compare that with, say, one of these, which are much better. That's a remote guidance. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is we need more torque. Well, okay, no, we actually have a lot of RCS. We should be fine. I think that we have a lot of RCS, don't we? Yeah, okay, we have a lot of RCS, and it's really far away from the center of mass, so we should be good. And I should probably put on a solar panel just in case. Always need more power just in case. Put on one of these deployable guys. Just put a pair. Something like that. Should be fine. Hopefully they don't burn up, but what's the worst? Why is the bass in this game going so hard? That is an excellent question. We have some super chats to read that I missed because I moved the window. Sorry about that. From Luca with the $3, what would you study with unlimited funding? I probably wouldn't change anything, right? I like what I'm doing. And from Luca again with the $3, what physics ideas surprise you the most? Nothing really surprises me at this point. I mean, like, so there are some things that happen, like when I'm running a calculation and I expect one thing to happen and then the opposite happens, and that's always surprising. But it's, I don't know if it's like correct to say it's actually surprising. And from Sir Stroming with the 50 Swedish kroner, forgot to sign up for GR course, so I'm looking to do self-study. Is there any book you recommend also? Are you familiar with comp physics and system modeling? No, I'm not familiar with those, but the book I would recommend is Space-Time and Geometry by Sean Carroll. All right, let's fly. John, every plane? Oh, I'm just gonna double check once more that everything is where it should be. We should have plenty of thrust. Okay. Let's fly. Don't forget flags. They come with flags. It's a little wobbly, but it's fine. It'll be fine. All right. SAS on. Don't need RCS yet. Hit it. And up we go. What is it if I want to adjust my shouldn't be tilting. I want to adjust my trim. What is it? It's alt down? There we go. That's what I want. Gotta put that trim way up. Because we gotta climb. We did rescue Valentina, indeed. All right, and we're at takeoff. The sound is really loud, so I'm gonna turn it down a bit. Yeah, that is really loud, isn't it? There we go. I hate how unstable this plane is to yaw. Or to roll, rather. This burns way less fuel than a traditional vertical launch, because jet engines are wildly efficient. Okay, now we gotta chill. Because we need speed. Gotta start flying level. Otherwise we're gonna run out of air. God damn it, we already ran out of air. Alright. We're gonna nose down. Yep, and they kicked off. Bummer. We're just gonna wait till we come back down into the atmosphere, and then we're gonna kick up the speed. It's fine. I was just a little bit too aggressive with my ascent profile. Well, thank you for the chasing the dream. That's much appreciated. Meanwhile, while we're descending, from Neural Void, explain ecliptical curves cryptography. You would want to talk to Alvaro Robledo Lopez. He is a number theorist who actually knows about that stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff. And from Neural Void with the 2 pounds, again, I want to understand the backdoor of Telegram. I don't understand it either, so I can't help you there. And from Luca with the $3 Australian dollars, what does KSB simplify the most? There's no 3-body dynamics. That's the thing. This is the next iteration of the John Every plane, yeah. Gotta use some of that RCS to stabilize because we're coming in at a pretty steep ascent, and there's the engines. That's what we wanted. Don't you just love how they kick on? Gotta go a little bit faster. A little bit faster still. There we go. Now we're kicking up speed. Beautiful. 1,400 meters per second. Oh, we are going to explode. I'm watching the thermals. Please don't explode, please don't explode, please don't explode, please don't explode, please don't explode. Please don't explode. I just gotta climb a little bit. Please don't explode. Please don't explode. Gotta get to 23. Gotta get to 23. All right, I think that we're good. No, we're not. We are definitely not high enough. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We're aborting. Yep, we just aborted. We have to save Valentina. Yeah, we're alive. We're alive. Valentina's in here. She's safe. We were just aborting. We're good. We're good. He's alive. Why do you have so much oxidizer? Because I plan on landing on Minmus. The explosion is the solar panel. Oh, that's a good call. You're probably right about that. This is why we add the tactical abort, y'all. What branch of physics did I study? I did differential. So I did conformal geometry with an application with applications to GR and the ADS-CFT correspondence. From Luca with the $3, what real missions need 3-body math? You don't need 3-body math, but for like a lot of the kinds of things that you might want to do, like setting up Lagrange points or setting up like satellites at Lagrange points, you need 3-body math for that. I could do an Apollo-style Minmus mission. I could. Minmus is the second moon of Kerbal. And I used to be able to. I definitely used to be able to build a space plane that would get me there, but it's been a while. Yeah, the oxidizer is only. I'm aware, but I need the power to get to orbit, right? I only have one. I only have one nuke, right? So I need the power to get to orbit at a certain point, and I'm actually not bringing that much oxidizer, right? Minmus is way easier than the Mun. Yeah, but with a space plane, it's a little. I mean, it is. That's why I'm doing a space plane to Minmus. Although I guess that we could just do a regular rocket to Minmus. But is that really what we want to do? What do you think of chemistry? I want to be a chemist when I grow up. I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. I just haven't thought about it a lot. Why is Minmus easier? It has lower gravity, so it's easier to land on. Game name, this is Kerbal Space Program. We are currently trying to land in the water. See, there's our shadow. So what went wrong there? What went wrong there is that we climbed too fast. The solar panels flew off. So we need to put the solar panels somewhere safe. Actually, you know what? Let's just use... We don't even need a solar panel. Who needs solar panels? We can just use... get rid of the solar panels. Also, what is the... The maximum temperature here is 1100 or 2000. And the maximum temperature here... Oh, yeah. No. So, I mean, like... This is way more well-equipped to go at high speeds. So I think that we're going to... The question is how do we... So the reason why we have the round one... Oh, you know, the reason why we have the round one is because we are afraid of killing Valentina. We're gonna use an RTG for solar or for power. We're just gonna take an RTG and then we're just gonna stick it. I don't know. Like, we're gonna do some clipping. Take an RTG, then all you gotta do is this. Yoink. There we go. They're too heavy. RTGs aren't too heavy. They weigh 0.08 tons. Yeah, I will irradiate the upper atmosphere, true. From Neural Void with the 2 pounds, did you study any measure of quantum biology? None at all. And from Luca, what about JWST at L2? You need 3-body dynamics for that, yeah. It is just inviting the Kraken, but that's a fuel tank, so it should be fine. I mean, maybe I should move it forward a little bit, but yeah, it should be fine. Okay, now, do we want to switch to the higher speed cockpit and then risk blowing up Valentina? That is the question, isn't it? If you switch Valentina for Bob, I'm sure. Do we want to, though? I don't know. How badly do we feel about Bob? Or all right. No, we can. So what's the trajectory that we need? We need this thing to not get to 2500, or to 2000 Kelvin. So that means that we need to be like above 22,000 meters. You know what? We're bringing along quite a bit of oxidizer. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to do a slightly slower ascent profile. And we're just going to use the oxidizer by the time... We're just going to use the oxidizer just to give us... Just to push us to a higher altitude for some time. You can't heat shield the nose. Nope. We're actually just going to go for another flight. We're going to try this again. Do you have a PhD? If so, what was it on? Yeah, I have a PhD in physics, and it was on conformal hypersurface geometry. All right, Valentina, you ready? Punch it. That's what the kids say, right? Come on, I want to be going east. Oh, too much wobble. Don't like that. There we go. Okay, so we're past the sound barrier, which means that we can climb. Oh yeah, my landing gear was down the whole time. I can't believe I forgot about that. Good catch. I can't believe I missed that. I'll do a barrel roll for, you know, a $10 super chat or something. I like to climb at like 30 degrees, if I remember correctly. That's what I like to climb at. But we're not at 30 degrees yet. Oh, we need to climb fast. We're getting real hot. We're still really low in the atmosphere. Okay, good. Actually, I think that we're in the clear. Might be in the clear. Nice. We did it. We actually are losing speed, so we'll have to burn a little bit more. Oh no, we're just losing speed because we're ascending. This is actually fine. How much fuel do I have? Well, in the... Did I just change them to air breathing? No. Okay. I do have a lot of fuel. I should have a pretty decent amount of liquid fuel. Oh, why? Yeah, you're right. There is a shit ton of oxidizer. Where's the other there's oxidizer in the back tank. Why are... Okay, I did not need to bring that much oxidizer. You were totally right, whoever said that. We have 2,000 Delta V though, so it should be fine. As long as this thing can get me there. Oops. As long as this thing can get me to orbit, I don't care. I just don't know if it'll be able to get me to orbit, actually. One little nerve? Probably not. No, there's no way. There's no way I get to orbit. I mean, I can always punch it a little bit more. I wish I could dump the oxidizer. Oh, well, yeah, if we pass the apoapsis without being at a substantial or pretty close to orbit, I'm gonna kill it. You don't need 4 nerves to orbit. It's just the fewer nerves, the slower your orbit is. But we're getting there. Slowly, very, very slowly. Can you go over your refuel situation again? So I have a lot of oxidizer that I don't need, and I shouldn't have brought... I mean, I did end up using actually quite a bit of it. All right. I'm at this point, I'm just using the rapiers just in case. Just to kind of give me a little bit more of a punch. Gives me more time to get to orbit, basically, with the nerve. Just buys me a little bit of time. See, we're nearly there. Just shy of orbit. Look at that periapsis growing. See? Gotta use the monoprop to point the nose in the right direction, but we're gonna get to orbit, don't worry. Okay, we got to orbit. We did it. I cheated a little bit, but we did it. Okay, now, how much Delta V do we have? It says that we have 1,288, which is plenty to get to and from Minmus. Minmus being way out here. Actually, let me double check what the, because there are some numbers on this that people typically run. By the way, from Luca, what makes 3-body maths hard? Thank you for the $3 Australian. It's just messier. The calculations are just messier. You can't solve them except numerically or with a series approximation. So it just makes the calculation slower. Okay, so KSP Delta V map. There's a nice map that is handy that people built, and I just don't remember how much Delta V it takes to get to Minmus from low Kerbal orbit. So from low Kerbal orbit, it is... Oh, maybe I don't have enough Delta V. No, I don't have nearly enough Delta V. That's a problem. At least I don't think so. Yeah, I need like... 1,090. I need like 1,200 just to get there. Yeah, and I have 1,200, but the issue is going to be leaving. I mean, we could always do another rescue mission. We can always get her there and then get back. If only I could dump my my oxidizer, but I feel like I might need them. All right, let's go to Minmus. We can always rescue her if we need to. She's been a real sport. All right, let's do this right. Too much. Gotta just touch that orbit there. Oh, we're also gonna need an inclination change, which is annoying. Oh, I have to. I should have launched on a. Actually, you know what? I can just aim for an orbit that'll put me. Come on, let me drag you. I can aim for an orbit that'll just put me, have me intersect Minmus at the node. Like that. Nope, not like that. Do you actually calculate stuff? Yeah, no, that's the thing. I am going to do it at the ascending or descending node, but I need to bump the orbit ahead. And isn't there a way to kick the orbit ahead one orbit? Isn't there a way to fast, like, isn't that a thing? To like go to the next orbit? Oh yeah, it's that button right there. There we go. Oops. That is a Mun intersect, which we don't want. All right. We'll get that intersection. It's just going to be a few days because we missed a... We didn't plan the window properly, so Valentina's going to be in orbit again for another few days. But it's fine because she's probably going to get stuck in orbit anyway. There we go. That's what we want. And let me just go focus over here. Focus view. And let me advance that orbit. Come on. There's too many things on the screen. Is there a way to just... Maybe if I go to maneuver mode. No. Because I would like to just click on the orbit again. But it's too small. Yeah, the UI on this game is very buttons. Very true. There's a way to advance. Come on, let me click on it. Let me click on you. Can filter the map view. I can. That's a good point. It's not really that issue though. The issue is that like there's too many text boxes and things. Yeah, the game KSP2 is just not a good game, unfortunately. I did try it when it first came out. That's what I wanted. There we go. Oh, it did it again. Gosh darn it. Where's the maneuver node? There it is. Now I want to just bump this around until that'll be close enough, right? Yeah, I think that's close enough. Sure, let's do it. We can always adjust. We can always do a late adjustment later. Now here's the thing. I do have electric charge. Okay, so I can adjust. Good. And then we're just going to warp 13 days into the future. From Angelus with the £10, I'm sorry. The barrel roll, it can't really happen right now just because we don't have, we're not really in the air. But when I land, when I land on Kerbal next, I will do a barrel roll. How about that? And from Luca with the £3, sorry, $3 is chaos the real problem then? 3-body problem? It's not chaos. It's just that the problem doesn't have an elementary solution. All right, let's pass a few days quite rapidly. 4 more days till our burn. Valentina's fine. 2 days, 1 day. All right, slow things down a little bit. Honestly, KSP is how I learned orbital mechanics, and if flat earthers could play KSP, they would learn so much. Three hours till the orbital window opens up. 2 hours. 1 hour. Just under 1 hour. All right, let's slow things down again. 47 minutes till the launch window. Now it's a 6-minute burn, so we're gonna have to start it at least like probably 4 minutes early, to be honest. Because if you warp to the maneuver, it's not always as trustworthy. Like often it'll warp you to the maneuver, like with like 1 minute, but I need like a few minutes in advance here. Okay, like I need to be here because I need to now adjust, because this is going to take us, this is going to be like a 6-minute burn. What am I playing? I'm playing at Kerbal Space Program. Now I gotta let it stabilize. Okay, and now we can burn. And we can probably even, yeah, so it's just gonna be a minute. That's okay though. Is this on PS or Xbox? I don't know. Why do you burn halfway to the node? So that way then your acceleration is at least centered on where the maneuver node is. You should use the extended burn indicator, an option in your settings that tells you when to burn. Oh. Oh, I should probably turn on advanced tweakables, huh? Well, I guess I don't need to. Yeah, we can turn on advanced tweakables. Well, we'll do that later. Huh. Neat. So here we wait. From Luca with the three Australian dollars. 1, no general closed form solution. Yes, there is no general closed form solution to the 3-body problem. That's true. How does Kerbal compare to Orbiter? I have no idea. I've never played Orbiter. It's gonna be a long send Jeb to the sun for no reason. I'm not gonna do that. That'd be so rude. Now, what's the tallest mountain on Minmus? Tallest mountain on Minmus. Oh. Highest point on equator of Minmus. Okay, so I can't spend 1,000,000 years in orbit near the surface of Minmus because it's just not very flat. Which is annoying, but that's fine. All right, we'll have to be careful. From Ricky Ross with the $2, did you build the ship yourself or use a guide? No, I built it myself. Why would I use a guide? Who uses guides to build ships? What is this? What do you take me for? I'm trying to rescue Jeb and Bill from LKO since they don't have parachutes or heat shields. Yeah, you should do that. Is Earth, Sun, and Moon considered three-body problem because it seems stable? Not really. You can approximate it really well with a two-body problem, if only because the Moon is really, the Earth is very far from the Sun, and the Earth is much smaller than the Sun. So the Sun essentially doesn't move at all relative to the Earth and the Moon. So that is in principle a three-body problem, but it's a very easy to model three-body problem. Why do they have individual parachutes? In case they eject. Obviously. Obviously, in case they have to eject. Non-physicists use guides. Yeah, there you go. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's literally rocket science, but you know. I always struggle to do the KSB, the orbital rendezvous in KSB. Once you get the hang of it, rendezvous are actually pretty easy. Don't you just need to decelerate and get a free return to Kerbal? Oh, I'm trying to land on Minmus. I did not read the three-body problem books, no. Why is Jeb so goated? Because he's the OG. Jeb and Valentina are the OGs. Can you consider the Berry Center a body for the two-body problem? Yeah. But then it kind of reduces to a one-body problem, actually. How do you have the fuel to do this burn? This is a very slow-burning rocket. This rocket is very, very slow burning, and it's very, very efficient. But it also has very, very little thrust. So it just takes a while to do the burn. Yeah, it's the Nerva. Yep. How are they so stable? How are what so stable? Is it hard to use the nuclear stuff? It just takes a little bit longer. Like, I mean, we're using a nuclear engine now. We're headed to Minmus. It just takes a while to do the burn, that's all. Like, sometimes you'll add like 2 or 3 of these because this is just annoying, but I really don't mind it. I really don't mind it at all. Especially because, you know, there's chat to interact with and stuff like that. All right, let us hydrate. What do you think about the Lagrange points in a binary system embedded in a dark matter? What about them? What? That's a very, very niche and specific question. Oh, no. Reducing the three-body problem for the Earth, Moon, and Sun. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can treat the Berry Center of the Earth, Moon system, yeah. Okay, so we're approaching our, the end of our burn. Hopefully the burn wasn't so slow that we missed the that like the window was missed. Okay, we went a little bit over, but that's fine. We can adjust. How much? We only have 300 delta V left though, which is like very, very little. I don't even, that's not even gonna, like, at best we're getting a flyby, I think. I don't even think that we're gonna get, yeah, I don't even think that we're gonna get a landing. I don't think that we'll be able to. Well, here's what we can do. First things first is we can tilt retrograde. I'm just using the Nerva. I don't want to. We don't need to use. We have plenty of electric power. No reason to use RCS here. All right, and I'm just gonna burn just a smidge. Just that way, then we're approaching from the other side of Minmus, and we have to tilt up a little bit. So, what, that way? Because we're coming at it from below. I just want to get a nice flyby. Like, we're not going to be able to land, but at least we can do a flyby, and then we can come back to Kerbal. Nope, that's not the right way. How about this one? How am I feeling? I'm doing okay. Are you live on the purple side? I'm not. All right, we'll do a small mid-orbit correctional burn, just to, or mid-trajectory correction burn, just so that we can get something. Just so then we can get a flyby or something like that. There we go. And where will that flyby take us? Will it eject us, or will we get a... Oh, that'll raise our periapsis. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We are going to do a flyby on the other direction. That should kill our speed, and that should bring us back down to Kerbal. Oh no, never mind, that will not do that. If we do a flyby that direction, do we come back to Kerbal? That we do, and then we can always kill our speed. We should have plenty of fuel for this tiny correction. We should have plenty of fuel. And then we can do a re-entry. So let's do that. How much Delta V left? 300. Not nearly enough to do a landing. Not nearly enough. I have not played Outer Wilds, no. Not nearly enough to do a orbital insertion burn, a landing, and then take off. All right, well, let's warp to the node. At least we'll get to see Minmus. How old am I? I'm 32. I really love games like KSB. Do you think it's dumb to want to study aerospace engineering because of it? No. Landing is pushing it with 300 Delta V with just a nerve. I don't know, man. That's really, like, yeah. So, I mean, this map I'm seeing says, you know, you need a 340 Delta V minimum just to touch down, and that's probably with like more efficient engines, right? I've never played Outer Wilds, no. From Ricky Ross with the $5, do you think space habitation would cross over well to underwater habitation, and why or why not? Because the obvious of one's underwater. Yeah, there's a lot, the pressure of being underwater is a lot harder to deal with than the pressure of being in space. How do you orient your direction in space if there's no cardinal direction? Carefully. Oh, I may have killed it. Dang it. Okay, we gotta go in the opposite direction, so I pressed the wrong button. Very unfortunate. Do we have to do another orbital correction burn? Oh, that's so annoying. I'm sorry. That's so annoying. Okay, we'll just add another burn. It's fine. There, we'll swing by like that. What's the best, like, specialty? It depends on the person. All right. Oh, I have to point in the right direction. Good thing I have a minute to do that. All right. We should get our flyby. I mean, we had a flyby, but like, oh, well, I guess that's not an issue. We'll be fine. We're just gonna feather it because it's a very, very small burn. There we go, perfect. Or at least as close to perfect as we're gonna get. Now this will basically send us on another orbit around Kerbal, and we'll just adjust and go for the landing after that. But in the meantime, where is Minmus? I don't want to miss it, because that's the whole point. That's the whole reason why we're going. All right, let's go look at the window. Should be Minmus somewhere. There'd be a big old planet. There it is. Wait, where's the did it do the calculation wrong? I'm gonna be so mad if we don't get a flyby. Okay, now okay, yeah, it's just because we were in time warp. That's fine. We will be entering in 3 hours. Okay, so we'll just warp to the flyby. We're playing Kerbal Space Program. There's Minmus. From Mostly Gizzard says, please name a ship Fartimus Prime. Okay, we'll do that next. That's the next rocket we'll build. We'll build the Fartimus Prime. From Cranky Old Cuber, okay, Blitz, this is my new favorite thing. I could literally watch this all day, and it's making me want to play too. Yeah, look, I've been seeing a lot of KSB content, mostly from a certain person in chat on my feed, and so that's what made me want to play. From Baba Llama with the €5, what was your PhD about? It was about conformal hypersurface geometry with applications to the ADS CFT correspondence. And from Neural Void with the £2, is space-time geometry emergent beneath gravity? That seems like an ill-formed question. It's gonna take a while to actually, you know, get in, so We'll warp a little bit. There's Minmus. The lumpiest boy. I just got to double check what our trajectory is. Okay, yeah, we'll have enough fuel to adjust that. We're 100x right now, 100x speed, because otherwise it would be horribly slow, right? This is real time. Unfortunately, we don't have the fuel to land, even though I've landed in those plains there, like the dark area. That's a really nice flat area to land, but we just don't have enough fuel. So we'll have to do something else. We're gonna build the Artemis Prime, and after we build the Artemis Prime, then we're going to actually, maybe we'll even use the Artemis Prime to we're gonna use by the way, that's how close we are. We're gonna use the Artemis Prime to maybe go to Minmus proper. Say goodbye to Minmus. You have a daytime job? I mean, streaming is part of my daytime job, so yes, kind of. All right, now we just got to leave its sphere of influence, and we should be... Bye, Minmus. I mean, like, I'm doing this because, you know, this is a fun way to spend time and talk to chat and engage with people, and I can't do debate content all the time. Bye, Minmus. All right, and we are officially out of Minmus's sphere of influence. So now we need to plan our trip home. And that's going to be hard because landing is going to be hard. We're going to be coming in real fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a maneuver here. We're going to go focus on Earth. Not Earth, sorry. On Kerbal. And then we're just going to kill our retrograde. And we are just going to skim the atmosphere. And we might even have to do 1 or 2 passes because I really don't want to explode because I like Valentina. So the atmosphere of Kerbal starts at about 70,000 meters up. So if we come in at 27,000, it's probably way too fast. If we come in at 40,000, 42,000, that's probably fine. We can probably come in a little bit lower. 36,000 is probably safe. And we'll bleed off some speed and then we'll make another loop around. In the meantime, where is Kerbal? There's Kerbal. Nope, that's Minmus. Where is Kerbal? Should be able to see it. Should be able to find it somewhere. Oh, there it is. That thing we're falling to. And you can see the mun right here. It's that little guy moving. Whoop, see? Oh, I missed the burn. Oops. I forgot that I was supposed to do a burn. So I guess we're going to advance that. There we go. Okay. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so I'm just gonna warp to the burn. Warp to the node. Swing by Kerbal. Bye, Kerbal. Should probably balance the oxidizers. You're probably quite back heavy. That's probably not a bad idea. Actually, back heavy might be fine for now. I wish I could see where the center of mass and stuff was. Yeah, I mean, I have like a big fuel tank of monoprop here and some oxidizer way up front, so it should be okay. Yeah, it's probably fine. All right, now we have a burn in about 19 seconds. Here's our little rocket ship. Oops. 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burn. Okay, good enough. Okay, that gets our periapsis just where we want it to be. Oh, it's a little high, or it's a little low, but we can probably fix that. We'll fix that really quick. We're gonna do a safe re-entry, so it probably won't actually matter where the yeah, I mean, I could move all of the oxidizer up. Move some liquid fuel up too. That's probably fine, to be honest. We have 75, we have another 75 here. Yeah, that's probably fine. I just want to raise that to like 36,000. Yeah, that's probably good. All right, now we can actually go in for a flyby. I'm not expecting that the first flyby will actually get us home. I'm expecting that it'll kill our speed and drop our orbit, which is the goal. Just because I don't want this. This space plane is pretty, like, we don't have a heat shield, right? Whoop. We do not have a heat shield, so we gotta, you know, we gotta kill our speed. Which is why we're gonna be coming in like this. All right, it's gonna get hot. Hopefully Valentina doesn't explode. If she does explode, then we'll do a mission in her honor. In her honor. Because we are going real fast. In fact, actually, you know what? Well, no, we can't risk blowing up the engine either. All right, we are losing speed. This might be too low. Oh yeah, we're gonna blow up. We're definitely gonna blow up. Absolutely, positively gonna blow up. Actually, we might be fine. We're just pushing it, but we're losing a lot of speed really fast. The RCS is really fighting it. The RCS is really fighting it. Come on. Come on. We did it. We did it. We did it, boys and girls. And we're gonna... Oh shit, it's gonna be dark when we land. God damn it, that's gonna suck. Oh, we have the parachute. We can just do an abort landing. We made it. We made it, boys and girls. We are gonna have to do an abort landing. There's no way we're landing on the runway. It's too dark. I can't see. It's gonna be impossible to fly. Yeah. Technologia. Technologia. Yeah, I mean, I could, how much fuel do I have left? I don't know if I have enough fuel left to, like, with the liquid engines. They are in air breathing mode. We can try to fly home, but I don't know how likely that's going to be. Turn on the light. Oh, let's turn up the brightness a little bit. That's a good idea. Is there a way to turn up the brightness? Ambient light boost. Is that what we want? Maybe. Apply. Oh, okay. That's too much. It should be a little dark. Right? Like there. That's better. Now the question is do we have enough fuel to fly home? I'm a physicist, ask me anything. Well, yeah, you can ask me anything, but if I'm busy flying, I'm gonna have a hard time answering. I'm currently just gliding. Oh boy, we're gonna spin out. We're spinning out. Shit. Yeah, we might have to go for the abort. Actually, we are high enough that we can probably correct our spin. Well, I'm doing the barrel roll. Here, I'll do a barrel roll. In a stall, I can't really speed up right now. I'm gonna wait till we lose a little bit of altitude. We're still 11,000 meters up, which is huge. That's a really long flight. You know what? We're not gonna recover. Like, we're not gonna worry about recovering the plane. We're just gonna, you know what? We're just gonna pop the chute. Like that. Goodbye. Yeah, it's the other, like, we could, like, we probably don't have enough fuel to fly to the other side of the planet, but, like, we could. But we'll just land. It's fine. Goodbye. Did you design the plane? Yeah, of course we did. You're right. We need to skip a little bit. So here we are going to aim this way just so then we can. Actually, let's. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why Valentina is spinning like that, actually. But Valentina is doing surprisingly well. She is happy as a clam, see? Look how happy as a clam she is. Don't know why she's spinning like that, but here we can tell her to stabilize. Why is this happening? Like, I'm pretty sure it's just because the parachutes happen to be at like the center of mass of this thing. Like I can control it. I just don't know why. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, here, I'll stabilize her and then I'll just turn off SAS and now she just spins again. I don't know what. I know why. I know exactly why. Probably because that's where the trim is. It's gotta be why. Oh, there's the other end of the ship. What's the button to reset trim? What's the it's Alt X. Okay. There we go. There's another thing? Okay, there we go. That's why it was the trim that I had. But look how happy she is. Look at that face. She's so happy. In wonder. What's that? Oh. All right, we can let her touch down a little bit faster. She'll be fine. She's a trained pilot. Just got back what happened. We ditched the back end of the plane. So that way then we could land a little bit more safely. And we landed. Safe and sound. All right. Let's recover Valentina. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to build the... What was it? The Prime... What was it supposed to be called? The Prime... Artemis... No, Fartimus Prime. There we go. That's what it was supposed to be called. Okay, so we made it to Minmus. Good enough for me. Have you ever recovered an asteroid? I have, yeah. Okay, so we have Fartimus Prime. Now, here's what Fartimus Prime is going to be. Fartimus Prime, I'm going to rely on Old Faithful. Oh, I meant to turn on the adjustable thing. Advanced tweakables, that's what I wanted. So, what we're going to do is we are going to build an asparagus staged rocket. It's my favorite kind of rocket to build. And it's going to be a launch vehicle. The launch vehicle is called the Fartimus Prime. Do I actually do the math? No. Well, I mean, to an extent, but not really. You kind of fly by the seat of your pants. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically just get a big chunk of stuff. Here, 81 tons to orbit. Do we want to... 81 tons is probably like a reasonable size for a payload, right? All right. This is going to be our test payload. Actually, let's start with something a little bit easier. Let's start with like... Maybe 81 tons is a bit much. Why don't we start with 9 tons to orbit? We're gonna get 9 tons to low Kerbal orbit. It is our this is our test payload. It's not going to be connected to anything. There's going to be no I mean, we have to put somebody in it, of course, so then it can be piloted. We'll just slap one of these guys on top or something like that. It's fine. So this will be like a... And then we just gotta put on a... Just again, so it can be piloted. We just need a battery. Too small. Right, that's the right size. That's probably a big enough battery, right? That's a fine battery. Do you have revert flights on? Yeah, we're not... I guess it's on, but I'm definitely not doing it. You can have a probe core. I could, but I like having a pilot. And then we need an SA... how much SAS does this have? This has... That's plenty of SAS for controlling this thing. And then we need a separator. I think it's this size? No. This size? No. This size? No. This size? What size do I want? Oh, it was this size. Okay, we got our separator. So this is our payload. Currently our... So we're working with really trying to get 12 tons to orbit is probably a more correct number. We need a fairing. How do you spell fairing? Fair? Fair? There we go. In principle, we don't need this because it's actually pretty aerodynamic, but I just want to make sure that, you know, so this is 12.6 tons that we're going to be trying to get. And then the rest is just going to be booster. It's just going to be a asparagus booster. And I am the king of booster. I am the king of asparagus. So I've done this before. At one point, I was able to put I was able to put 900 tons into orbit with a 3,200 ton rocket. So, you know, I know what I'm doing. It's been a long time since I've done that, but I do know what I'm doing. So, time to build a giant rocket, the Fartimus Prime. Now, if I can find the... There it is. That's what I wanted. Asparagus staging is OP. probably the right size engine, and then we probably want a Mammoth down here. Oh, turns out we already have enough. We can already get to orbit. Well, not yet. Can almost get to orbit. This thing probably doesn't have enough thrust to weight. I mean, it does have enough thrust to weight ratio. This has so much, like we have. Oh, I have to turn off crossfeed. There we go. Let me just empty this just to make sure that it's not. Okay, yeah. Okay, I guess that we didn't need to use. All right, we're gonna have a bigger payload then, because we can, if we can get to Kerbal, or if we can get to Kerbal orbit with just a single stack rocket, 13 tons, we need a bigger payload. Grab that, grab this. We need a much bigger payload. $80 tons? Okay, we'll do 80 tons. All right, there's our payload. 81 tons plus change. And just got to make sure to add electrical and, you know, the stuff that makes it flyable. And what else did I need? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. No, this should be flown by a probe corps, because we're not planning on, this is a test flight. We're not planning on landing. Yeah, that's fine. Just need a whole bunch of electricity. Okay, 82 tons. That's we're going to 82 tons in orbit. All right, now we got to put a separator. Stack separator, and then we got to put a fairing. There we go. Now, this thing can't make it to orbit, unfortunately. Yeah, we are making a missile. Do we need a bigger payload? Because this is still too easy. It's still too easy. What's the right play here? Well, the other thing is that, oh, we should add a, I know what the play is. Okay, I know what I'm doing at this point too. Okay, so first and foremost, the launch vehicle is gonna need a computer, right? The launch vehicle itself needs a computer. There's no question about that. It needs a computer. Now, unfortunately, this means that I'm gonna need that. This means it's gonna be a little bit shaky, but that's okay. Now we want to add the fairing on top. That's fine. And then we want to add a separator. So this is going to be our working. This is going to be our workhorse. We do need some struts. Because otherwise it's going to be very wobbly. Actually, we don't need the struts there. You know what we should do? We should add the fairing below it. Add the fairing there. That can go there. And then this can go there. There we go. And now we can add struts. Lots of struts. There we go. Hold it in place. Yeah. So yeah, we added the fairing below the computer. So now we can. I should actually probably make it a bigger fairing, to be honest. For drag reasons. Probably be that fairing. Move that fairing, and there we go. Okay. And now it's nicely attached, and, you know, we have a separator there. Okay. No, I clearly hate physics, right? So, let me move this over so you guys can see what I'm doing, by the way, a little bit better. So now we have to just... Let's just put a giant payload on top. 80 tons there. And then we'll put another... Where are the smaller ones? These guys. Is that a big enough payload for y'all? 300 tons? Can we do 300 tons? All right, 300 tons it is. Do I have a battery for my computer? We do not have a battery for our computer, so we're gonna add some batteries. Just need that there. There we go. Okay. Now we can build out our fairing just so then it's aerodynamic. Okay, there's our test payload, y'all. This is Artemis Prime. Now, currently, we do not have enough to get to orbit. So, we need to do some asparagus staging. The whole purpose of this was to show you guys asparagus staging, because it's very, very dumb. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a triple stack like this, and we are going to copy it. Now, the thing is we're going to copy it in pairs. We're going to place them a little bit lower down, just so then there's room. And the trick is, we're going to take fuel lines. I can find the fuel lines. And we are going to feed the fuel lines from here to here. Now, oh, that's a mistake. I forgot to attach them properly. We need separators. Average Kerbal fairing, right? My A key just popped off. Why not just solid fuel boosters? Less fun. Less fun, less efficient. Doesn't get you to space as easily. Come on, A key, come back. Here's the A key, by the way. There we go, A key's on. Okay, we need a radial decoupler. We probably want the hydraulic detachment manifold or whatever. And then we're gonna push that thing out way far. Give us some leeway. Now we can take this. We don't want it that way, we want it this way. There we go, just like that. See how it's still technically attached? Actually, that's probably not where we want it. We probably want it a little, oh yeah, okay, it's not centered. Right there, is that right? Okay, and we have our fuel line. Now the trick is that you burn everything at the same time so that your thrust to weight ratio is higher. Currently my thrust to weight ratio is 1, which is not enough to get to orbit. We got to put some pointy bits on top. Nope, that's too small of a pointy bit. How about this big pointy bit? Still not big enough of a pointy bit. That's a big pointy bit. Okay, good. Now we just need to copy this. Switch to cyclic mode. Switch. Why does it keep doing that? Turn off the mirror symmetry. Oh, is it because this is on cyclic mode? That's annoying. That's why. Yeah, it needs to be on symmetry. There we go. Oh, a little bit too high. Like right there-ish. And then I need to move these. Move these out. Move that out. Just so that they're only loosely attached. And then I just gotta change that connection point. Should not connect to the rocket. Has to connect from here to the... Oh, that was connected to the fuel tank. Okay, great. Now. Probably some struts too, right? We probably need struts. I don't know. What is the... Go away. I don't want mirror symmetry. What? Why isn't it... Beebus. There we go. Always need more struts. There we go. We got some struts. Okay, we're good. Currently delta V is 6,000, but the trouble is our thrust to weight ratio very small. Thrust to weight ratio is only 1.06. Thank you. A little bit early. Okay. All right. So our thrust to weight ratio is very, very small, which is why we need more boosters. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy this and we're just gonna glue it to the side. Like that. So now we have more boosters. See how we have more boosters now? And now we just have to take this fuel tank and glue it to the bottom of the other one. This is a baby's intro to asparagus staging, by the way. And I'll show you how it works in a minute. We take this and feed it there. See? And then this one feeds into the inside. Now, we fire all of the rockets at the same time. Our thrust to weight ratio is 1.9. So we need, you know what that means? We need another. So we're actually going to take this booster stack. We're actually going to move it a little bit. We're going to put it like right there, I think. And they're still connected, see? More boosters, more struts. Yep. I do need to push that out. I need to push this out a little bit. Just so then it doesn't touch stuff. Okay. Now, if we're lucky, we'll be able to fit one more. Yes, this is indeed the more booster strategy. So we will grab one more, and we're going to put it right there. And now, that one is connected there, that one's connected there, that one's connected to the inside. And now if we put all of our rockets, we do this right, our thrust to weight ratio is hopefully big. 1.26 is enough to get to orbit, we'll take it. We are asparagus staging, yes. Now, what this means is that we want somehow to... We want to crack this outermost one first. So see how fuel goes from here to here? So that means that this one's going to empty first. So we just got to find that one. So that one's going to empty first. That one's going to empty second. So we have first, that'll pop off, then that'll pop off, then that'll pop off. And then we should get to our destination. So this is not being flown by anybody, but we do need to strut up. We need lots of struts. I actually probably could have done this better with just 6-fold symmetry, but I didn't think I would need that many. We'll do a redesign later. There's struts. Just gotta glue these things together. That's what struts are. Struts are glue. Struts are rocket glue. What's in the fairing? Just fuel? Yeah. I just gotta turn off fuel pass through. The fairing is just there as a test. It's just there as a test mass, just to see if we can get to orbit. This thing should have enough to get to orbit. So we're basically just building an enormous missile, but all right, let's fly it. There's nobody in it, so if it explodes, it explodes. Yeah, we're making a launch vehicle. We don't have any RCS, so it doesn't really matter. All right, here goes nothing. It's able to leave. We're tilting a little bit too fast. Oh no. We didn't put fins on it. Oops. There's no fins. It's okay. If this crashes, it's not the end of the world. It's flying smooth, though. Yep. That's always a risk. Okay, so our asparagus staging was too tight. Yeah, the asparagus staging was a little bit too tight. That's fine. No, it wasn't a struts issue. It was a decoupling issue. Now we're just gonna wait till it crashes. Well, it was flying smooth, but then during the abort, you know. I know I was still, well, so I mean, you sort of want to be firing your engines. I just need to move the, they just need to be separated more. And this guy's just gonna crash. But we can watch all the explosions that are about to hit the ground. See? Look at those tiny little explosions. Oh, did you guys see it separate? That's called a kraken. Use separatrons. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I forgot that those existed. We have some super chats from user with the $10. Ghost murmur sounds like made up woo-woo. It kind of was. Yeah. All right, we'll go back to the vehicle assembly. From Samuel Maduria, how many hours do you have in this game? Oh, many. Very, very many. And from Cranky Old Cuber, all right, I just bought KSP, not 2, and DLC. I hope tomorrow's interview goes well. Good luck. All right, we need separatrons. That's exactly right. So we basically need to just slap on 6 of these guys. These are just baby tiny rockets that just push the thing away from your, that push the thing away from where it's trying to be. We just need 6 of them. And 2 should go with each stage. There we go. So those will separate first because this is our last fuel line. And then the next one connects here. So we need some more separatrons flying inward. That should go in this stage. We can copy those, put them over here. Good. And then the last one should go in the last stage, or in the first stage. I should probably actually stage them. Well, I probably don't need to stage them separately, to be honest. Okay, should be good to go. All right, should we try landing? Should we try launching it again? Can't hurt. There's nobody inside. Oh, fins. I guess we don't need fins because in principle we should just be thrusting all the way to orbit. We should just be launching all the way to orbit with like the engines should be on, so. Who needs fins? We're just gonna go straight up for a while, actually. We can start tilting over ever so slightly. I know I need 3,400 to get to orbit. I know. But there's also a thrust to weight ratio issue here. All right, we're about to hit burnout for our first fuel tanks. So here's to hoping that the Separatrons work. Nope. There's nobody in there, so reverting is just saving time. Okay, so we need more Separatrons, I think. Do we need more Separatrons? We need more Separatrons, that's what we need. The Separatrons did not work. That's because there weren't enough of them, obviously. We're just gonna triple them. These are really, really heavy boosters, after all. Add a booster to each booster to boost them away. That's what we're doing. That's what the Separatrons are for. They are tiny little boosters. Trying to get a Korolev cross or whatever it's called. Oh, why aren't they cloning? Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, they're not cloning. Means I have to undo all of that. Because they weren't cloning on the other side, which means I have to redo them. All right, now they're cloning. I mean, we can always add more Separatrons. It's not going to hurt anybody. The thing about Separatrons is that they're very, very small. Did they ever add big Separatrons? What are you drop kicking into space? It's just a test mass. We're building a launch vehicle. Trying to get 200 something tons to orbit. Okay, so now we should be good, although these Separatrons should... Where are these? Oh, those are the main engines. Okay. So those ones should thrust out, should kick off first. Okay, maybe this will work. Oh, some of them are not pointing the right way. Those ones are pointing backwards. See that? Do a quick inspection, make sure that they're all pointing the forwards way. Okay. All right, let's try again. Artemis Prime, let's get to space. This is called Kerbal Space Program. It's a game, so no, it's not free. The thrust to mass rate, the mass to thrust ratio, You just take your thrust and you divide it by your weight. Why no SRBs? Because we're not a bunch of... We will land on Minmus, yeah. We're gonna use... This is gonna be our launch vehicle to get to wherever we want to get to. Yeah, the Separatrons might be too high. That's true, too. Oh, I didn't put on, Oops. We kind of were drifting there for a sec. All right, let's see if it works. We have burnout from our first tanks. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Y'all see that? That's what we want to see. Now we definitely have to start our tilt because it's a little bit late. Our gravity turn. Why not use all the fuel before letting some rockets fall? We did use all the fuel. We used up the fuel in those rockets. This is what asparagus staging does. It's OP as balls. And there we have another. And then see how now our other thrusters are entirely full. Because we were basically draining the fuel in those boosters first. Now, as long as we have enough fuel, we should have no problem getting to orbit like this. Yeah, we'll be able to get to orbit, no problem. Asparagus staging over SRBs is why. Asparagus staging is... What do you mean over... It's how you play the game. Asparagus staging is top-tier Kerbal Space Programming engineering. We're currently burning prograde. Why is it tilting? So then we can get into orbit. Thrust and vacuum is... Lol, we have flat earthers here. Sorry, thrust and vacuum isn't 0. Get with the times, nerds. All right, and these boosters are about to burn out. And off they go. I actually probably need to be tilting up a little bit. I'm probably a little bit... My A key just popped off again. This is bad. The A key is how I tilt. The objective is just making sure that we can get to orbit with this enormous rocket. Which we can. Like, it's very evident that we can get to orbit with this enormous rocket. And not only that, we can put 200-ish... Okay, that's orbit. We can put 200-ish tons of whatever we want in orbit. There we go. Okay. So, mission accomplished. We have 200 tons of fuel that we just happened to plop into orbit, but it wasn't being used to actually get there. It's literally just a fuel tank. Literally just a whole bunch of fuel, but I'm not using that fuel. So we still have, you know, I don't know, we still have a few hundred tons. I'm actually going to deorbit this thing though, because I don't want to leave it in space. So I'm going to deorbit it. Why are you doing such a low Kerbal orbit? Because that's the hard thing. Or getting to orbit's the hard part. Yeah, I mean, I have another 1,000. Like, I could probably add a little bit more. The trouble is the thrust to weight ratio is the issue. The issue is not the amount of fuel that you can carry. I could actually probably change the size of the stacks, but yeah, I'm just gonna deorbit this thing into the ocean. Why retrograde? I'm just deorbiting it. From Johnny Carter with the 2 New Zealand dollars. Can you tell me an interesting fact? An interesting fact. If you want to go faster, then you have to go lower if you're doing orbital mechanics. Lower is faster. How does thrust work in space? Well, you see, you carry your fuel and your oxidizer, and then you burn them. And it explodes in all directions. Some of that pushes you forward, some of it leaves. All right, it is technically, well, it's not quite daytime. Why does lower equals faster? Isn't lower more slower because of drag? Well, look, so there's air resistance, that too. But orbits are faster the closer you are to the thing that you're orbiting. From Johnny Carter, you're welcome. Would you ever play No Man's Sky in here? I never have. So probably not, to be honest. All right, this thing will deorbit. We can leave it alone. We can go back to the Space Center. Oh, why can't I? Okay, well, I guess I can't just let it go, so we'll just speed it along and I'll catch up on chat. Thoughts on Project Orion? It's neat. It would have irradiated the atmosphere though. Is the separation automatic or manual? Also, what would happen if you just left them? The separation is manual, and if I left them, then I'm carrying dead weight. That's the downside, right? And now we're going to burn up in the atmosphere. And now we have a ballistic missile. There you go. Now we've made, I've shown you how to make a ballistic missile. So now what we can do is now we're going to, now that we have a launch vehicle, and honestly, we could, if our thrust to weight ratio was, we really want it to be just a smidge higher. So what we could do is we could just add some extra boosters just on the side. Just to get us going. That's really the hard thing. We'll just add a booster or two for our launch vehicle. And the only reason I'm doing this is not because we need more fuel. Literally someone's stealing Twitch streams. What? Who's stealing? I'm not on Twitch. We're not on Twitch. This is only on TikTok. Just to get a little bit more thrust. Okay, there we go. Now if we take this, we put that down there. There, 1.36 is plenty. And what's the firing time for this? How long does this take to fire? I should probably add a separator, huh? Yeah, I need to add decouplers. Unfortunate. There we go. Decouplers added. Then I can grab this and I can just slap it right there. Good enough. Put a Nas cone on top. Too big. Too big. Why is it red? Where's the smaller Nas cones? Schnoz cones? There we go. And then these things, that decoupler, we just need a separate stage for them. Okay, and we will add some separators just in case. Or some, yeah, we'll add some of these guys, some separatrons. These guys will probably be fine. They're pretty far away. But just to be on the safe side, you know. That's pointing in the wrong direction. What is happening? Okay, so this needs to be going that way. This needs to be going that way. What? Why are there two? Why are there two? I hate this game. This is so stupid. It's because it wants to be like radial on this side. See how it kind of wants to go like... So see, okay, if I put that there, that's over there. Okay, good. Now we can take that. Hopefully, it went onto the other side and it's pointing the right way. Okay, now we're good. That goes there, that goes there. Okay, we should be fine. We have plenty of thrust in each stage. The thrust to weight ratio is only really important once you get off the ground. You don't need it really afterwards. And so we can save this rocket. Now, what's the payload? Well, we don't currently have one. This is a test payload, right? So, what is this? This is that's the stack separator. This is a payload that we can put anything on now. Put whatever you want. Because it's a launch like a launch system. So here's what we're gonna do. Now that that's done, I believe that there's a way to add. Isn't there a way to import a whole rocket as a part? Isn't there a way to do that? Open. Anybody know how to do that? If you know in chat, let me know how to import a whole rocket as a part. It's merge. Okay. So like, for example, so I don't have one, but now we can just go build. Okay, so we still have the Fartimus Prime. Oh, wait. Load. I don't know why this didn't save. Okay, good. Now it's saved. Now we can go build something that gets us to Minmus. We want to land on Minmus, for example. So we need something with, I don't know, from low Kerbal orbit, we need 1400 or 1200 delta V to get to Minmus, another 350. So we need 1300, 350. So we need, let's say, 2200 delta V to get to Minmus, land, and then come back. But that should be pretty easy to make because we just need to make something that's 200 tons or less, and it doesn't need to get to orbit. That's the cool part, right? So what we will do is we're just gonna build a. All right, we need a name for this. We'll call it the. Did we already have? We'll call this one the Valencia. Let me type, please. The Valencia, and this is the one that Valentina's gonna fly. From Johnny Carter with the $2 New Zealand. What class would you recommend for D&D? I always play like a wizard or a sorcerer or something like that. Like I'm just a dork like that. All right, so we want a lander for Valentina. We'll just use the Mark 1 lander can. It's fine, it's easy. Is there a platform where it's full screen? Yep, YouTube. YouTube. Let's attach on some of this. That's too much. Some of this. Nope, that's too little. Okay, that's the right amount, I guess. We're just gonna build a pretty straightforward lander, and then we're going to build a small second stage that goes on top. Yeah, go to Dr. Blitz Debunks on YouTube and you can see it in full screen. Now, what do we want? We want a small fuel segment, a small amount of fuel below it. Too small fuel. We want like that much fuel, and just a little baby engine. 486 delta V. Is that enough to get home? Yeah, that's actually pushing it. Yes, Kerbal does, or Minmus does taste like ice cream. That's true. Okay, 1000 delta V. This should be plenty. We should add some monoprop tanks. Do these hold monoprop? Oh no. Okay, we need the side-mounted monoprop tanks. Drain valve. I didn't even know that those existed. Aren't there side-mounted monoprop tanks? There we go. Yeah, this is what I wanted. We can just like put, I don't know, some monoprop there. Fine. Okay, there's our little lander can. Put some legs on it. There we go. Should we bring Jeb's goo along? I feel like we should bring Jeb's goo along. I'll just put it there. We don't need two of them, but we can just need one. There we go. No, we are currently playing vanilla. Oh, that's not tall enough for the legs. The legs have to go down a little bit lower. There we go. That'll do. Maybe a smidge more. We're going to the mun. There we go. Okay. Great. These will start. We'll have them start retracted. The game is not free, no. It's like 40 bucks or something. All right, now we need a separator. Separator. Oh, sorry. That was the name, the Valencia. We need a separator. Stack separator like that. And then we just need a... Actually, is that enough to get us to and from Minmus? No, it's not. Do we want a second stage? Yeah, we could add a second stage. There's no harm in doing that. Just add a small second stage. We can use like the, I don't know, the poodle. Should be fine. 1400. Need a little bit more, I think. A little bit more fuel. 1586 should be fine. And let us make sure that this is currently adjusted for vacuum. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. We were fine. We were fine. I forgot that the Terrier basically has so much it just sucks on atmosphere. So this is enough to get to and from Minmus. The only thing we need is a parachute and a heat shield. I'll put one on top. We'll move these down a smidgen. There we go. Just so that they're protected. And then we'll put some parachutes in, and then we should be good. We should be good with our Minmus launcher. Now, what is the payload here? How much does this thing weigh? This thing weighs 8 tons. What is monoprop for on a lander? What about adding a reaction wheel? I like having monoprop just in case. Where is the center of mass? It's just nice to have. Put these, I don't know, here. Put another pair here. Yeah, we could build this way bigger. Keep in mind, the payload that we were using just a minute ago was about 6 times this size. So engine plate for an engine mount. Do I need an engine plate? Why do I need an engine plate? Bruh. What's for? I don't think that we need that. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to, and this is for next time, which will be maybe Saturday, maybe next week. I'm gonna save this for now. What we're going to do, this is why you should tune in next week, of course, is we are going to build a multi-launch system. So we're going to build a few different landers. We're going to build a lander for Minmus, a lander for the Mun, and then we'll see how much that weighs. And then we'll have a mothership, and we'll make it so it can go between the two. And then we'll launch them all with that big ass payload launcher. Okay, that's the plan for next week. Until then, we got to call it a day. So make sure to tune in next week, and if you want to stick around and get announcements about when I'm doing these live streams, make sure to join the Discord server. It's discord.gg/drblitz. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more standard